My guest today is Becca Eve Young. Becca Eve, you are a former corporate strategist who turned transformational coach and soulful storyteller. You walked away from the societal shoulds and rebuilt your life from the inside out. You are the author of It's Gonna Get Messy, and you are passionate about guiding others through the quote unquote messy middle, which is the uncertain seasons of identity shifts, healing, self trust, and reinvention, so people can live as their most authentic and soulful selves. Becca, Eve, welcome to the show. It's such a pleasure to speak with you today.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here. Lovely to talk with you as well.
Uh, I'm looking forward to exploring with you today how to navigate life's crossroads with courage, first of all. Uh, and, the authentic success rather than what many of us have believed that success is. I will start
Yeah.
straight away. I think I will go in the deep water straight away. For someone listening right now who looks successful on the outside, but feels unfulfilled inside, where does this reinvention and healing begin with? Where is the starting point?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love going right in. You know, from walking that path myself, and I think so many people aren't, this isn't a new conversation, right? It, so first off, these people are not alone, but so many people have done this path, right? Of like myself included, the house, the car, the job, the degree, the things, the accumulation. And you're just one day you look around, or maybe it's a series of days. And I would say it begins with awareness. It begins with an absolute knowing that, and sometimes it smacks you right in the face and sometimes it creeps up on you, but there's no denying the awareness that you feel in your being that this is not it. And it might come in different whispers of, this is not it. This is you. You're off course. You are miserable. This isn't you. You are pretending. You are wearing masks. You are people pleasing. But all of those whispers are an absolute awareness and knowing that what I have been doing, what we have been doing is not working. And you can't know that, and you can't begin to reinvent until you sit yourself down or your higher self sits yourself down and says, hey, I'm right here. Might you want to listen to what I have to say?
I like how your answer is both very simple and on the other hand very profound also, because awareness, of course, it is the answer. It's not this level of awareness though, and really recognizing this inner voice is not necessarily something that many people are you know ad- adept at, or good at.
Yeah,
uh,
I wasn't.
you
Nope.
Do you want to tell me about your awareness experience? I read in your story that there was a spiritual or a supernatural, if you want to call it that, experience. Was that your awareness shift?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, mine was, let's see, 2019 to 2022, that's such a powerful period for all of us.
Yes, yes.
Certainly not myself, only myself. But it began there. It began with having all the things, doing the corporate climb, having the MBA, the house, the cars, the things, the other house, the wardrobe, everything. And it was all falling apart. My marriage was ending. I lost a dear friend. I was working abroad during the pandemic in Mexico. I was laid off. The border shut down. I was stranded alone. I had no home to go back to. My friend committed suicide. And I found myself completely alone for the first time in my adult life, with nobody around, no TV, no media, nothing to tune into but myself. And I realized, I'm like, how is it possible that in nearly 4 decades, I had never once tuned in to myself? I had numbed my way through. So as I sat in my timeout from the universe with literally dirt road, the road was covered in dirt. They locked everything down. People were not traveling. There was no airport. They wouldn't allow people to drive. I was literally stranded with myself. And in that moment, I got, as the universe does, and when you tune into it, little things, little notes. I began meditating, as so many people know the power of meditation. And the first time I did it, I couldn't even tune into my body. I couldn't even feel a body scan. I was like, this isn't good. This is not good. And so it was meditation. I turned off the media. I was in nature. I was grounding. Someone handed me The Power of Now, as so many of us get handed that special book. And all of a sudden, but not suddenly at all, I just realized I've been playing and listening and this unwilling actor in this societal script. I'm like, I did not know I was cast in this play. Who I, I did not sign up for this role. Who's and so we're all a part of this play unknowingly until we know. And it is the play of there's 8 billion souls on this planet, and there's just one form of beauty. There's just one form of success. There's just one form of fulfillment. And it's in media, it's in magazines, it's on billboards, it's everywhere. It's in your ears, it's in your eyes, and they don't call it TV programming for nothing, right? It's all silently behind you, telling you that this is what you should be doing. You should. And all of a sudden, all that turned off, and I'm like, oh. And all these whispers of awareness of myself, my own being, my own internal compass started to turn on. Mm-hmm. And that's where I started to realize that's where, for me, that awareness, that's where reinvention begins. And reinvention sounds like this big, mystical, boulder that you have to move. But so often in life, it's wildly complicated, yet so ridiculously simple. It's so simple, and we wildly overcomplicate everything. we wildly overcomplicate everything. And so that's where it began for me. But as I experience all this loss, and as sometimes we have to take down to that, bottom basement moment of on your knees, sobbing, snotting out of your face, you're just like, what? Help me. Is in that moment. And this is when I thought it was as low as it could get. And I lost my dad on top of all this. And this gets me every time, even 5 years later. He came to me and took me right out of my body and showed us without a shadow of a doubt where we all come from, what we all are, what we are all made of. And then I naturally asked if I could stay, but no. Boom, right back into my body. And I'm like, and so the story of it's going to get messy is like what happens in that moment, what happens after that moment, and just like rebuilding from the ground up with a total different awareness of who we are, all of us, what we're made of, and how do you How do you embrace, you know, purpose like we don't already have it, or success, or all these material things, um, when you're very much a spiritual being having an earthly experience?
Thank you. This is a powerful story, and thank you for sharing it in the way that you did. You know, there was one phrase you said about there being an unwilling actor in the script, and I think that metaphor of playing a role, specific role on a specific, perhaps theater, if you want. When you start looking at life like this, it for me, I personally find it is a good way from detaching from identifying with the actual role. So I can see a little bit on the outside, like Aggie playing the actor of doing that. So
Yeah.
that's thank you for that metaphor of the unwilling actor.
Yeah. Yeah. It gives you a little separation, right? You can say,
Yeah.
because you could, and that's what meditation does for so many people. It gives you that little bit of pause between your essence and your mind to actually pause and almost see yourself. And you can see yourself with your ego, with your script, with your things, and you're like, hey, hey what? You don't have to read those lines.
Yeah.
You can go off script.
Let's move on now, because this you've already mentioned the messy bit. So we gone past the stage of awareness, and then the journey of the transformation begins. You call it
Yeah.
messy. So tell us, first of all, why is it messy? What's the mess about?
Well, of course, being human, we have to put a label on it. I mean, it is the way. But, we're all taught to perform. So it goes back to the play, right? We're all taught to perform. And everything that we see on social media and everyone's perfect vacations, where everyone's having the best time ever, but really they are all like screaming at each other 5 minutes before or crying in the shower. We're all told that perfection is the goal, and that success and looking a certain way and being a certain way is, and that we should not be transparent with our emotions, our feelings, our experiences, be raw, be vulnerable. And so it's messy because we're taught that mess is not okay. Clean up your room, young man. Clean up your mind, young lady. And so this is where all this, doubt and shame comes in, because we're like, okay, I'm doing the play, I'm reading the script, I'm being a good girl, I'm doing what I should be doing. Isn't this good? Aren't I good? But that's not the point. There's 8 billion of us, and we're all perfectly unique beings, and there will never be another you, ever, in the history of time and space. So why are you playing this role that's not meant for you? And it feels messy because you're taught just to not play for you. You're taught to play for this one role, this one script. And you feel like you're messy because you feel like you're deviating, and that's bad. But that's the absolute path. The absolute path is to stop pretending something you're not and to be exactly the little unique being that you are. And so it's messy because society says it's messy, but really it's just authentic.
That's a very good answer, and it also, for me, when I hear the term messy, there is that element of needing some cleaning that is implied when it's a mess. And I think in some ways that is very appropriate, because we need to do some cleaning, some inner cleaning during
Yes.
that messy period. So I wanted to
Yeah.
talk to you about this, and in particular there is and I believe you can tell me also your own experience, one something that comes up quite, I think, prominently in cases, in situation, transitions like this, is self-doubt. Whether indeed, even the previous role was the right thing to do, or even whether you will be able to perform so well in another role. I'm sticking for some reason with the analogy of the actor in the role, but I like it.
Yeah, I did too.
So tell us about this kind of cleaning and self-doubt. Let's talk about this for a while.
Yes, yes. Man, self-doubt is the number one, I would say, outcome or effect of ditching the script, of ditching the societal script. Because of course, this is the role that you've been handed, and you've been told since birth you're meant to play this role. And then all of a sudden you realize, no, that's not true to me. And so of course there's mounds of self-doubt that pour onto you, because all of a sudden you're not choosing to like ask outside of yourself for direction, which is what we're all told to do. You're like, you start to actually begin to trust yourself. But it took me years of micro trusts to begin to build that up. And it takes time. It takes time. But I mean, the thing that we don't get publicized that often, again, in the media of the perfect realm, I mean, every single human on this planet has self-doubt. Beyonce had to come up with an alter ego, Sasha Fierce, in order to step on the stage. She was terrified. Terrified. So she literally had to go outside of herself, create an alternate reality person, avatar, in order to get the courage to step out there. Because we're all used to performing. And the beautiful thing is if we, as you can see, even through conversations like this, if we stop performing and we allow our authentic selves and our humanity to be seen, there's no need to perform. And then through the irony is, through that sharing of the messy, which with my story, I can tell you, a year ago, the thought of reading this story made me want to vomit. I was like, there's no way people, like, I'm not going to actually publish this. And now I'm like, I don't care, not in an egoistic way, but it's my truth. And I know that someone else on their journey is going to feel more seen and less alone. And that's the energy that connects all of us. And so as we all, sit in this auditorium, I don't know why we're going with the script thing. I haven't, but this is great. But so as
I
we,
like it.
as we're in the auditorium with our scripts, and we all of a sudden, like, someone sings a little song and you're like, that was not in the scene. And then all of a sudden it's like, but wow, that was pretty. And then someone else is like, well, I want to tell a joke. And and it's like that unique expression, like that. It's like a flock of birds, right? It's like, you can't emulate that. It's stunning. It's beautiful. It's got such frequency to it. That self-doubt is from ignoring your frequency. It's ignoring your rhythm. And as you, in these little micro trusts each day, for me, it was sitting with my own mind. It was saying no to the thing that I didn't want to do. It was stopping conversating with the person that they're a good human being, but it's somehow like, doesn't feel good. And you're like, well, I don't want to be mean. I don't want to, I should. And it's like, no, every time you just listen to that little voice, it gets louder. It gets more clear. And the little self-doubt meter starts to slowly, it's coming down. And sure, there's moments, we're human. Like, it's not like, today I have released self-doubt and it's forever gone. No. But the more that you learn to trust your own frequency, your own rhythm, your own path, then you don't have the self-doubt, because you're not playing a role you weren't meant to play.
Becca, tell us a practical tool, because you said about building it up, this ability to trust in yourself. Give us a practical tool, build up, or, face the self-doubt that, and I agree with you that everyone has that. It is great
Yeah.
to share that, because it is, I don't digress back to that, but it's again what we were saying earlier on, that it's great to feel that you're not alone, that it's not something that, I have self-doubts, but Becca, Eve and Aggie, they don't have self-doubts. It is not. So that's my self-doubt. I want to go back to the question I asked you about, something practical, because it's one thing to say, yes, you need to overcome your self-doubt, but these little building blocks, that would be useful to hear what you.
Yeah. I have, as you've already pointed out, I am a big fan of simplicity and not overly complicating things. And so for me, and I've touched on it already a little bit, but the number one thing that I could do was learning how to activate this this intuitive compass that we all have, but it's all been numbed out through, you name it. Netflix, drinking, numbing, plans, being busy, saying yes to things that you don't want to say yes to. And so to ditch the self-doubt, first you have to tune into self. So you can't even ditch the self-doubt until you take the step back and actually connect with yourself. And I hate to be cliche, but there's a reason why we all recommend meditation, because it is the only thing that allows us. I mean, there's other things, right? Time in nature and walks, but it really allows you to sit with yourself, come into your body when we're all so constantly in our screen and out and in the world. There's so many great apps for this. I use Headspace. It's like they have 5, 10, 15, 20-minute meditations each day. And every morning I start with a meditation, and it just allows you to come into your body, come into your intuition, and like hear your own voice. And so you can't ditch your self-doubt until you know yourself, because then you're throwing things away that you're not connected to. So I can't recommend it enough. It has been life-changing. And I know everyone's, not everyone, but people get scared of meditation. Oh, the thing, and I'm not going to do it right. No. Meditation is messy. Everyone thinks meditation is this like Zen state. No, it's a hot mess in there. You're with your mind and the thing, and I sent that email and this person did that. Oh, focus. That's meditation. And it's messy for everybody. So coming into self, meditating, getting like learning to witness your mind and then say, okay, stop. That's even 10 minutes a day is magical. So that's for me, like step one. And then when you want to learn to ditch that self-doubt, it's quite simple, because we all learn, okay, I have this big business decision coming up. What should I do? What do you think I should do? Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this thing? And so we're constantly asking our partners, parents, spouses, friends, lovers, what should I do? Stop doing that. I mean, yes, you can ask your friends for advice, but no one is walking your path. No one has the energy, frequency, experience, past, present, future. We won't talk about what comes before this life and what comes after this life. But this is just this is your beautiful dream. And so it's tuning into yourself when you have the simplest of things. Do I want to go to this event? Am I doing it out of people pleasing or what I should, or do I actually want to go? And listening to yourself and letting people down around you and just choosing what you know is true for you. It could be as simple as, do I want to go to this movie? No, I don't. Do I want to have a coffee or a glass of water? Here, have a coffee. You know what? Actually, when I drink coffee, it makes me feel anxious, whatever. And saying no to the coffee, I'll have a cup of tea. Here, have a glass of wine. You know what? I'm not really feeling that today, but I'll be the one at the table who decides to have a lemonade. It sounds so silly, but we don't realize how many ways we abandon ourselves each day in the tiniest of fashions. Tiny. And so you can make all the big decisions in your life. You can go for that thing. You can go for that job. You can nail it. And you can be like, yes, look at me. I'm a person of importance. Like, But all those little micro mistrusts all live under the surface. And until you get in there and look at that mess, that is a mess, and you allow some of those to be seen, you acknowledge that you abandoned yourself in those moments and you let those little things go. That's where you begin to build that self-trust, because you're done abandoning yourself, which we don't realize we do all the time for people pleasing, for parents, everybody. And it's as simple as choosing you in those little moments, tiny little things where you just say, I'm done pleasing everybody else around me. I love you all. Don't get me wrong, but I'm doing what I want.
Thank you. It does come down in the end to, being, knowing yourself and being able to be present and feeling or listening or, understanding what
Yeah.
the message is, what the inner wisdom, if you want, is. And that is certainly very important in making the big decisions.
Yeah.
The opinions of the experts, of course, they are valid, but I think you said it very, very nicely that in the end it is only you know what is the best for you. And but when I say you, I don't mean the ego you, the deeper you, the higher self you,
Yes.
that part of you. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Well, and when I found myself alone in the desert for the first time, living alone for the first time in my life, I literally struggled with it at first. I mean, I had no job, I had no home, I had no place, I had no things. I had, like, literally it's just me. And I struggled with, like, do, I didn't have a schedule. I didn't have a corporate, the whole thing where I'm in meetings all day and my team and everything. And I'm like, do we want to go for a hike now? And I'm like looking around. I'm like, oh, I guess do we want to go for a hike? Do we feel like a hike today? Like, because you're in this cycle of programming and doing, and this is like you're on autopilot half the time. And so it's just, okay, what do we want for breakfast? Do you not want to do it's little things like that. The family goes on vacation. You're like, you know what? I love you guys. I see you all the time. And if I go on one more vacation with you with all my work stress, I'm going to go mental and saying, go. I'm going to stay home. Because you feel like you have to please everybody around you. And sometimes that, at some point that catches up with you, we'll just say.
Definitely. Yes. And the little things and the little moments, those days or those hours that we don't do what we would like to do, or we do, that this comprises our life. I wanted to ask, how can someone listening or watching this can stay in touch with you? What's the next step for them to take to connect?
Yeah. Oh, I love connecting. Um, of course, I have a website, beccaeveyoung.com. And there you can find links to my social media. I'm on Instagram, is one that I particularly love. And also you can find links there to my book, It's Gonna Get Messy. It comes out September 30th. It is the 5-year anniversary of my dad passing. And it is dedicated to him. And there's a bit in the book there about, there's a fun dad twist that even beyond the moment in time that we shared. So it's a bit of a co-creation with his soul and my soul on this one. So yeah, I would love to connect further outside of this lovely conversation.
Uh, Thank you. But I also have two quick questions that I always ask. And the first one is, what does personal development mean to you?
Mm. Mm. One of my favorite activities. It means coming home to yourself. It really does. Whatever that is. Someone telling you since you were 8 that, you love to play the guitar, but oh, no, that's not a good career path. I need you to be a doctor. Or I really like shadow puppets. I don't care. Whatever your heart and joy you know that thing that calls and pulls to you. Everyone has that something that they're just like, really, you're passionate about that? I'm like, go get it. I'm like, I'm over here, but personal development is coming home to what you want to invest your precious time and energy into, and where you share your unique spark.
And hypothetically, if you could go back in time and meet your 18-year-old self, what's one piece of advice you would give her?
Ooh, funny. I'm not really a regret person. Like I don't have any regrets because I see the path of everything when you look back on it. But if I could whisper a little something in her ear, I ironically I would say stop performing. No, that's what I would say. I would say stop performing.
I find it interesting that we have kept this, and without any prior arrangement, we just have kept this analogy, this metaphor of the
No, and this
acting and
isn't
performance and roles.
and this isn't one I've tapped into before, and I'm like, where is this coming from? But it's just it's I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah.
Becca, I want to thank you very much for this conversation we had and your insights that you shared. I want to wish you all the very best with your mission and your book, of course. Uh, I will leave it to you for your parting words, and in particular, what I would like you to leave us with is for someone who has listened to this conversation and they are in their own messy space of transition where they have left the previous chapter behind, and they are, in uncharted territory without even a clear sign of the port, or however else you want to say it. So
Yeah.
leave us with some parting wisdom for this person. What could they, using your wisdom to draw from?
Yeah. Oh, that person. I want to say congratulations, first off. I want to say congratulations because in order to let go of that and to let go of the performing and the people pleasing and what isn't serving you, to arrive at the messy port, to be in the messy storm, um, that takes courage. It takes courage. Um, and so to be there, to be in that mess, to not know which way to go, oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's so beautiful because that's a wonderful sign. It means you're not looking for signs outside of yourself anymore. It means that you're not drawing from culture, from societal shoulds, from this, that, and the other. You're like, it's messy because you haven't listened to your own compass before. And like anything in life, there's that duality of light and dark. You do not know the light without the dark. It's impossible. There's no reference point. And so if you're in that messy middle, I can tell you without a doubt, it's that is a beautiful time to cocoon and create and come home to your little nest. That cocoon time is your chrysalis. This is when you start to form. This is when you start to grow your wings. This is when you go from the fuzzy caterpillar and the beautiful wings of the butterfly start to form and the colors start to emerge. And next thing you know, you're in this and you're just like, oh, this is so gross and disgusting. And I'm like, why? But you don't realize what you're forming through sitting in all that mud is your lotus. Like, that's what comes. No mud, no lotus. And so the messy middle is like, if you can just hold on to that as like your safety net, your buoy in the storm, and just know that, okay, I'm going to come out of this and I'm going to come sharper, clearer, more beautiful, more rooted in my own knowing. So if you're there, it's like, I think of it like, before the game begins. It's just like, you're getting ready. You're getting ready to go out and blossom. And so in that messy middle, know that it's beautiful, know that no one has the answer but you. Tune into yourself, take care of yourself, listen to your voice, pause, get quiet. There's no way to find your compass without getting quiet with yourself, feeling your feelings, and allowing all of what you've been stuffing down to start to come out. And it's not going to be comfortable. I hate to break it to you, but it's begging to come out. And when you let it come out, it's just, it's a beautiful rebirth. So man, maybe I need another messy middle. I love the messy middle. It's when you get to reinvent and come home to yourself. So in those moments, and after you've had enough of them, you're like, yes, like let's go, bring it. Because it's all a chance to expand and grow and learn. So
Thank you.
it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And thank you. I really enjoyed talking with you. Thank you so much for creating just like a really wonderful space to share and talk about this and be authentic and allow people to have a place to go when they're feeling, off course, and to create a space where people can get guidance to find that inner compass. Like that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful gift. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Thank you.